Hey there, gang. Miss Griffith here with your poolside PD that got moved online, which is it's okay because this is a blended learning one anyway. So we're going to go ahead and do this from the comfort of your own home. And our topic today is blended learning. And so I just wanted to make a short video, talk to you a little bit about what is blended learning, what does it mean for me, and to give you an opportunity to kind of share your resources, share your thoughts and experiences with the staff, and really take a closer look at how we can authentically integrate technology into our lessons going forward throughout the year. And how can we support each other in that? So, really, for me, blended learning is really about increasing the technology in your classroom to be able to extend, enhance, and really increase engagement for your kids in your lesson design. And so, you know, we're going to talk a little bit today about how that authentic technology integration can do that for your kids. And so one of the things that I thought that I would start with was, where do you start? So when you're thinking about technology in a lesson, you should never be thinking about planning a lesson around the tool. It should always be around the learning objective. And then when you find the different things that will help you to enhance or make thinking visible in your classroom. And so, one of the things as a teacher I always like to use is some sort of framework. And so, we have not um, on our campus at this point said this is the framework that we're going to use, but I want to show you guys a couple. So, one that I used as a teacher was the HEAT framework. And so, I'm going to click on this and see if it'll open up for us. Okay, and basically, what it does is it allows me to look at my learning objectives and look at the lesson. What is my focus? And what do I want kids to walk away with? And then kind of have something to base that off of. So whenever I'm designing the lesson for these kiddos, um, I'm choosing things that are truly going to enhance their experience. And so when I was a teacher, this was a framework I used, the HEAT framework. And basically, it allows you to look at your lesson and look at the level of higher order thinking. And basically, it's asking you, what are your kids doing? Um, and a level one is pretty low level in that particular category, and a level six is going to be your highest level for this particular framework. And so I always enjoyed looking at my lessons and seeing what I had planned, and is this technology integration that I'm going to choose truly going to maybe bring me up a level in one of these or more of these areas: higher order thinking, student engagement, authentic connections for kids, and then just technology look fors. What are our kids doing? Is this a basic where I'm using the technology, or are we moving up in the rigor level for our students to be the one that are using the technologies to create and show things that they need? So having these frameworks, in my mind, are helpful in you as a teacher understanding how the technology is going to increase the rigor of your lesson in one of these areas. Some other ones that people use: TPAC, SAMR, basically, and you can look those up, and those are acronyms for technology usage. But really understanding where you're going to start and using maybe one of these frameworks to think about, how it's authentically, increasing the engagement, higher order thinking, critical thinking in your lesson. So one of the first assignments that I posted is, what does blended learning mean for you as a teacher? And so you'll just click there, and basically what I had asked is that you go to Flipgrid, and then there's the flip code, okay? And add a Flipgrid, talking a little bit, just short, I think mine's 30 seconds long, about what blended learning means for you. And it could be a question, something that you're saying, I'd really like a lot more support in, or maybe you're just talking about, we have a lot of rock stars on our campus that are really integrating some cool things. So maybe you're sharing that, but just talking a little bit about what blended learning means to you. And really, I would encourage you to go back and watch other people's videos, comment on them, and just really see kind of where we're all at with that. And so sorry, let me see if I can get back to this. I built this in Classroom, just trying to work on my own Google certification again. And so we had that. The second part of this professional development was sharing the technology tools, that we have. And so let me see here. I might have to extend the side here. Okay. So in this, I had three questions, and I think I was going to add one actually. So, what tools do you currently have access to, and how do they fit into your existing learning environment? So, that can be things as basic as your iReady, which helps us to provide more tailored instruction for kids, or it could be Seesaw, or it could be anything else that you guys are using in your classroom that you have access to right now that helps you to extend and enhance your lessons. And then really talking about who are your students, because at our level, in my mind, it's extremely important that we're building that foundation and that early literacy piece and really giving those early foundational math skills are very, very important for us. And so understanding who our kids are and where that technology integration is actually going to be, something that is is awesome for them. And so who are your students and what level of technology are you using with them right now? And then maybe give us an example of how you've successfully integrated technology into a lesson. And this one, I want you to focus more on um, your students as creators. And so I think that we'll have a lot of really great examples from this incredibly rock star staff. But I think that it's important that we share those out and get ideas from each other. I did want to add a column if it'll let me, and that was on just books or resources and books that you have used or seen that that have helped you or given you ideas. And so I actually have a few here, and some of them I don't um, have because I know that we've done several like Google for the little hands and different things like that. But I would love to hear what books have inspired you. And so these are some for me. Amplify, which purchased these a couple years ago for our staff. And so if you haven't, you might want to revisit this. This is a great book about digital teaching and learning in the K-6 classroom and really authentically integrating technology into your literacy lessons. And so there's some really good teacher examples in here that are meaningful and not feeling fluffy, but truly extending the lesson. So Amplify, that's a good one. Teach Like a Pirate for me has always been a big book on, how you can incorporate technology and really engagement into the classroom. It's definitely an inspirational book about how important it is to be passionate about what we do because that trickles down to our kids. So this one's one I've always loved. Who Owns the Learning is definitely a great read that talks a lot about how do we turn our students into the creators of information and not just the consumers. It's a short read. It's really cool. Good book. Good examples in there. So this is also one that I've enjoyed quite a bit. There's a bunch of different books out there that can talk a lot about blended learning and digital tools in the classroom. So share those. Maybe you even share underneath here people that you follow on Twitter that have given you good ideas. As a district that's moving towards getting our teachers Google certified and all those things, I want to not just talk about the Google certification. It's about how we are extending learning and making, these connections for kids outside of the walls of our classroom. And so, anyways, this is just an opportunity for you to get on there and share. I had added this a link here to a s'more that somebody else has created that had a bunch of different learning tools and how they're using it. And a lot of them we're using already, but just something else to look at and to think about. Um, you know, how we're intentionally using technology in the classroom. So, anyways, I think I've talked long enough. This is a 9-minute video so far, which goes way over what I should have been doing, but I felt like if we're not going to be face to face, making a little video for you was important. And so there we are. So if you can just complete those two little areas, leave us a Flipgrid and add to the Padlet, and you'll get your PD hours. And we're definitely going to take this information that you add in here, and we're going to revisit this at our retreat, or excuse me, at our back to school PD. So, and we'll talk more about that here to come as well. I hope you guys are having a great summer and have a good one. Go Eagles!